a while. Something that happened to me in London that was kind of sketchy at Walker Stalker, and I almost felt like I was going to get arrested.
You were groped.
No, it's pretty funny. So behind the scenes stories, questions from you guys, and we'll announce that month's winner of Walker Stalker tickets. So anyone who pledges at $5 or above has a chance to get Walker Stalker tickets to any one of Walker Stalker of their choice. So if you want to take part in that, go to patreon.com/Jason and Karen and contribute. And thanks so much to everyone who's already contributing.
Yeah, thank you, Patreons.
How are you doing? We didn't do our podcast last time. It was you and Petey.
Yeah, because right? I'd kill you, but you seem to have risen from the dead. So nicely done.
It was fun to listen to. And that was a total coincidence, actually, that there were two women on the episode with the colony of women. But it worked out great.
You know, it's great that it worked out like that. I thought about that before we started podcasting. I thought, oh, this is really good. Not only was I happy because I love Petey, but I was really happy because it was just two women. And
we haven't done that before.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we should do it again sometime.
You watch your back, pal, because I got a taste of it and I liked it.
Hey, we can do that every other week if you want. It'll be me and Duncan, then you and Petey, then me and you, then Duncan and Petey. Okay. Well, let's get going with what we're here to do.
Let's do it.
Attention shoppers, Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, it's our Deadcast Top 5. This time it's our top 5 highlights for Season 7, Episode 7. What's it called? Sing a song to me?
Sing me a song.
Sing me a song. Okay.
Sing me a song.
You are my sunshine.
My only sunshine.
You make me happy
when I eat brains.
I sang that to Nico a lot.
Aw, it's a cute one. Parents do.
Yeah.
It's a sweet little song.
Yeah. So
we're hemming and hawing. Let's get to it, man.
Well, do you want me to say what I thought first, or you want to say what you thought?
Do it, man.
No, I want you to say what you thought.
Okay, sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Mainly, wasn't that crazy about it, honestly. No. I wish I could tell you that I loved it, but alas, I did not. I gave it
it's
about
fun to hate stuff sometimes.
I give it a 1 point. It's way more fun to love it. Yeah, I gave it 1.5 out of 5 brains. I want to know where my Walking Dead went. I loved episode 2. Thank you, Matt Negretti. But and some of last week's
else,
episode,
by the way.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he was the writer of episode 2.
I just want to say, when they write these episodes, they're all in the writer's room.
Yeah,
writing it all out beat by beat, and then one person gets assigned the actual script. But
yes,
they all made the story together, and then he just scripted it out. I just want to make that clear so that people don't think, oh, there's only one good writer on the show and the rest of them.
No, there's a million great writers, honestly. Yeah. But him in particular, because I love that episode. In particular. But overall, I feel like when they stole Daryl's motorcycle, it was so that they could find a shark to jump over. Wow. Anyway, that was pretty much me.
Yeah, and you told me that last night on
we texted a little bit last night.
Can you guess whether I like this episode? And I actually hadn't seen it yet, but I said, oh, well, I'm guessing not, because I knew it was Negan heavy. And then you said you thought it was awful, which I was on my mind the whole time I was watching it. You know?
No.
And so I was like, I don't know.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I don't care. I totally don't care. But I'm just saying what my experience. And then I was like, kind of not knowing whether I liked it a whole lot. And then I started reading people's comments, and a lot of people had good things to say, and it got me more into it. So when I saw it the second time, I think I liked it a lot better. Woo. But I did like it. I think you know what? I'm not so happy about all these extra long episodes. Part of it is just because I know the ratings are going down, and there is a lot of complaining, and it stresses me out because I'm like, part of the reason people are complaining is they just are tired of Negan, and so to have extra long episodes is is like rubbing the salt in the wound for those people.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, nah, just get rid of all that. Don't think about myself. What am I into? Don't worry so much about what everyone else is into.
That's true.
And then when I did that, I'm like, yeah, I like this episode. I liked it. I still thought it was too long, though. It didn't need to be that long. And I actually, it's kind of weird, but I really think that if they were going to cut anything out of this episode, it could have been Rick and Aaron.
I get that.
Because it was sort of, I don't know, it was just disjointed from everything else, and it was sort of, I don't know. I just thought maybe if they were going to cut something out, that could have been it.
Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
And actually, well, let's get into it, and I want to tell you what my number 5 is, which is pace. And while last night they did give us more than one storyline, yay! I thought that they gave us, in fact, way too many storylines. So, I mean, there's gotta be a happy medium. It was kind of more confusing and a little more disjointed than past episodes. So, from what I could tell, we were following roughly about 8 storylines, and here's what I'm counting. I'm counting Rick and Aaron, Michonne, Spencer and Father Gabriel, Carl and Jesus, then Carl and Negan, then Rosita and Eugene, then Daryl, he was in it too, and Dwight and Sherry. And so there's a lot of storylines in here. So there was a lot to take care of, and I felt like it was fairly confusing. And so what I would like to have seen, and by the way, the one character I really wanted to see a lot of, which was Jesus, and I saw him at the beginning, and then after that, he was MIA until the very, very end. So
I think next episode he'll have more. I hope.
Who knows? And all these episodes have been really long. I mean, this was 90 minutes. True, 30 of those minutes were commercials. But I think that the thing with this show is, if it's firing on all cylinders, 42 minutes, which is the usual runtime, is plenty. That's all it really needs. So if they're giving us a lot of things that are fairly confusing, they're not improving things by going to 90 minutes, I don't think. So I would like to also not focus on characters that we don't really care about. I don't care about Sherry and Dwight. I just really, really don't. I care in the characters that I've invested years in, which is Carol and Morgan, Maggie and Sasha, those characters that we haven't really seen this season except for those bottle episodes. So I would love to check in and see, since we only saw Carol in that one episode, how's Carol and Morgan doing? I love them. They're the bread and butter of this show. So all these weird chuckleheads in the stairwells smoking cigarettes or making sandwiches, I don't care about them. I want to get to the people, the characters that I've invested years in, and that includes, our old standbys. So
well, I've been thinking about that because people say the same thing, and they say the episodes with new characters feel like filler. And to me, it's like, when we started this show, we didn't know anybody, and we got to know the characters that they presented to us. And to me, it's like when you go to college, you or just go to any new place where you're going to move somewhere else, but particularly college. When the first couple weeks or so, you're really open to meeting new people because you want to find your place, and you take more opportunities. This is my experience anyway, and you get to know people that you like, and then after a while, you find yourself settling into groups, right? And then you're not as open to these new experiences or meeting new people, right. And the show's like that. And I always try to, even though I feel that pull too, I try to go, well, wait, what if I was open to meeting new people? Then maybe I would meet someone really cool, and I wouldn't know it right away. It would take some time.
But you know what? The thing is, you're absolutely spot on. And the length wouldn't matter. The bottle episodes or joined episodes, none of that would matter. Meeting new characters would be great if the writing was strong. And right now, I'm just disappointed in the writing, and I'm disappointed in being
because
left with characters I don't care about.
When we saw Eastman, we were like, yeah, right?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Right. And how many episodes was he in? One.
Yeah.
Right.
But we were happy, me and you anyway.
Yes.
A lot of people didn't like that, but you and I were happy to see it. I personally, I don't agree that the writing is bad, so it's a little easier for me to be curious. Like Dwight, I'm curious about Dwight, not as much as I was Eastman, though. It's not. I'm not thinking they're knocking it out of the park like compelling. I did then. But I am. I mean, I've got my eye on him. I think he's a good actor. For
how about Sherry? You love Sherry?
Yeah, she's okay. I mean, I don't dislike her, but I'm not particularly like wondering what she's going to do next or anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I do think that they need to, it feels like a lot of wheel spinning this season. And I think that they really need to be moving more towards a finish line. And yeah, AMC, you do have a cash cow in The Walking Dead, but I think that they really need to figure out what the end game is. And I think they have to start to look to what the finish line is. And if there are still great stories to tell relating to The Walking Dead, you can have spin-off series. I mean, you do right now. You have Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, one of my favorite shows of all time, Breaking Bad, ended, and it always had an end game. So the writers always knew that, and they wrote towards this end point. And then later they figured out they had more, they had a character and another story to tell. And so they started Better Call Saul, which also, by the way, has an end game, because the end game, it's a precursor. So when it catches up to the real time, that'll be it for the show.
I mean, I pretty much totally agree with that. Breaking Bad, not to get too far into it, but they totally left themselves open for it to become whatever it was going to be. Like Vince Gilligan never thought, oh, I know exactly how this is going to end and we're going to write to that. But he did have an eye on, this is a single story and we're not going to push it past that if it doesn't make sense, you know.
But it was a story about a guy's descent.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, and I agree. I've said, you know, we keep repeating ourselves, but I really think that Walking Dead would do well to, even if it was like 3 seasons, say, okay, we got 3 more seasons and that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
And then if you have another story to tell, have another series. It's fine. But for this needs to, it can't keep wagon training forever.
Because it feels like Lost did in season 3 when they were stretching, right? Stretch it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I can see that. And I've been loving, my favorite show right now is Ash vs. Evil Dead. Yeah. And each episode is 26 minutes long, and they cram so much in there, and they never spend too much time on any one storyline. I mean, there is a seasonal arc, but every episode is like a different little movie. Sometimes it's an action movie, sometimes it's horror, sometimes it's more of a goofy comedy, and it's tight.
It is.
And Walking Dead is not tight right now. No. I'll give you that.
No.
It's not tight. But I felt like this episode, aside from the whole Rick thing, I thought a lot of it, well, no, some of it was repetitive with Negan too, but I don't think I thought as much of it was repetitive as you did. But, you know, I'm going to mix my numbers around a little bit here because since you talked about all the different storylines, I think my number 5, there was a lot of pieces of rebellion lining up here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about each one of those storylines. Michonne whistling her nursery rhyme. It was the farmer in the dell, or the farmer takes a wife, the wife takes a child. But it's also the same melody is in A Hunting We Will Go. So I think maybe that's what she was doing. She's going hunting.
Interesting. The cheese stands alone, my friend.
And that's just the tagline for the series from now on. No.
The cheese stands alone. How did they get cheese, by the way?
From a goat.
You think that was goat cheese?
Wait, what cheese? Somebody
had
a
cheese tray. They were taking a cheese tray around with them.
Yeah, I mean, they have resources. They have more resources than anyone else.
Cheese seems like a stretch.
Hey, we've seen a cheesemaker in this show, haven't we?
He wasn't very successful.
No, but Saviors have the best cheesemakers. I don't find that not realistic.
Blessed are the cheesemakers.
So I thought the way she took out those 2 Zeds was especially badass.
Yeah.
She kind of turned and in that motion stuck one right through the head and then flipped around and chopped the other ones in half. And you're wondering what the hell she's doing while she's making a pile of Zeds as a roadblock. She could have pulled some logs out there. That might have been easier, but not as
it
dramatic.
Might have been.
But anyway, she's, she gets that woman and take me to Negan. So she's on her way to Negan. Well, she's on her way to the sanctuary where Negan is not. But anyway.
Right, but she doesn't know that.
Piece of rebellion.
By the way, if you come across a pile of Zeds on the roadway, carefully piled.
What you would do is get out of your car, walk up to it and stare at it. That's the thing to do.
And go, huh. Have we learned
Let me just keep looking
nothing.
at this and I'll figure it out.
Crap, there's a katana at my temple.
Oh, man, I should have looked around. It wouldn't have helped her anyway. Michonne's too much of a badass for that. Now we have Carl. We'll both talk more about Carl, but he's close to Negan and determined to kill him. So that's another uprising little piece of rebellion.
Yep.
Jesus, his whole point, I think, was to find out where Sanctuary was and report back to Maggie. Or not Maggie, Sasha. But that's why he wanted to do his little awesome roll, which was amazing.
Yes.
Right?
At the back of the truck, the open truck.
But I was a little confused about where he ended up because we saw him on top of the truck later. Is he at Sanctuary or?
Yeah, he's
what?
right outside the gate, and he was on top of the truck, and then we looked back up, and he was gone.
So he's at Sanctuary. Then Rosita. I mean, I might be going through some of your points here. So
no, you're good.
Okay, so she's pissed, and I thought Christian Serratos was terrific.
She was.
She's good at playing mad.
Yeah.
And when that scene with Eugene where she called him a coward and weak and said the only reason you're alive is because people feel sorry for you. So for once, do something useful and make me a bullet.
She was harsh.
And the reason why she's so upset is she was like saying she would give her life to kill the man who killed Abraham, quote, the man who saved our lives. So she's really just pissed about what happened to Abraham. She still honors him despite what happened between them. So she's on a mission. And now she's back in Alexandria with her bullet.
With her magic bullet.
Where Negan is. So that should be interesting.
One bullet. Better work.
Spencer has a crossbow.
Yes.
But it sounds like he might be just as likely to use it on Rick as Negan.
I don't know what he has up his sleeve. He has something up his sleeve, but we don't know.
Yeah. But I liked the scenes with him and Gabriel.
Yeah?
They're talking about Rick and, whether people died because of him or more people would have died if not for him. The same kind of discussions we have.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're having a little podcast in the car.
I just need a little remote mic. They'd be good.
The Spencer and Father Gabriel show. They can have a little theme.
But I thought it was a little hypocritical of Gabriel. Like Spencer expresses anger at Rick and that he, almost wants to kill him, and Gabriel calls him on it. But Gabriel was in that space.
He was
not too long ago. So
right.
Anyway,
I have something to say about that too.
Okay, I just have one more thing. Daryl is free, so those are all pieces.
Do we know
of
Daryl's
the puzzle.
free?
Well, he got a note with a key or something, right? It said,
with a key and a match, I think, that said "Go now."
So I guess my point is, there's a lot of setting up so that we're not going to get another episode of, hey, let's watch Negan terrorize somebody else. I don't think. I mean, he'll still be an asshole, but there's pieces being put in place for something to happen to move the plot.
Yeah.
Right? I hope.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That the mid-season finale will probably be something will happen. It won't just be wheel spinning.
If it doesn't, then I'll be complaining right there with you.
Okay, good.
Okay, your turn.
All right, so my turn, and this is going to sound complainy. I don't mean it to be. Maybe I should pepper my compliments in here. Yes, I'm going to do that. My number 4. 2 moments I loved. One, Olivia hauling off and smacking the crap out of Negan. I love that.
Yeah.
It was nice. It felt good.
She hit him hard, too.
She actually hit him.
Yeah. I don't think she held back at all. I wonder how many times
in
they do that.
In The Talking Dead, she was talking about that, and she said that she has older brothers and she knows how to smack a guy. And at one point, Jeffrey Dean Morgan said to her, "Go ahead and just hit me." And she's like, "Okay." Whacked him, and he was surprised, but that's the take they used. So she did a lot of fake smacking, and then the take they used was her really hauling off and hitting him, which was
he looked
awesome.
a little surprised.
He did, and then he was like, "Wow, I like you more,
50% more." Did you laugh at that?
Of course. It was funny.
Good.
It was funny, but I still was like, "Bravo, sister!"
Yeah.
Also, I also enjoyed when Michonne taught the redhead who she had the katana up to when she was in the car with, at that point, the gun. And the gun was at the redhead's temple. The redhead thought, well, I'm going to, accelerate quickly and then slam on the brakes and I'll be able to get free of Michonne. Oh my God. She has no idea who she's dealing with. It's Michonne, and Michonne doesn't take that kind of crap. And Michonne,
she's lucky Michonne didn't just stab her.
I know.
Right? Michonne needed her.
She needs her to get to the
sanctuary
to find Negan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. And then she's like, "Boom, boom, boom. Okay, drive, bitch." It was great.
Yeah, I like that.
So those are two big compliments. There you go.
Right on. Okay. I want to talk about where Negan is coming from. He, know
where Negan's coming from?
Well, part of what's Negan's whole game is being unpredictable.
Yeah.
So you never quite know for sure what he's going to do. But he's
wild and crazy.
I actually think this episode gave us a lot deeper of a picture of Negan than we've had before. A lot of times it seems like he's just straight up domineering and he's an asshole and he's fucking with everybody and that's it. But there were a couple of different things this episode. A lot of times it seemed like he might be kind of genuinely socially clueless, but in a crazy lunatic kind of way where he's buying into his own reality, warped reality.
Uh-huh.
A few examples. So he encourages Carl to look at his, quote, wives, and he's like, they won't mind. And it makes you wonder if he really believes that they're happy to be there. He also said to I think, Sherry,
Dwight's ex-wife,
she said, "You're an asshole." He goes, "I know, but the messed up thing is you like me anyway." And I think he believes that. And I also think that with the whole Stockholm syndrome, there's a chance that there is a part of her.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It was hard to tell because she either pretended to like kissing him or she was into it a little bit. But as soon as he left, her facade broke and she looked like she took a drink maybe to get the stench out of her mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
And she could have been completely faking. She could have just felt bad about Dwight seeing it. She could have been feeling bad about herself for having any kind of ambivalence about him, But
yeah,
I think that's the crazy part is he imposes his crazy reality on everyone else. So they start believing it too. But here's a couple examples. So she said to Amber, the other girl, "I don't know why you're crying. It's all going to work out aces for you." Like he doesn't know why she's crying. Or when he makes Carl take off the bandage, he's just insulting him. "Have you seen that thing? Gross. I can see your socket." And then he starts crying. And then Negan looks genuinely taken aback. Like, oh, I went too far. He's having a realization there. And I believe that. Okay, well, here, let me play. Here's the clip of him being insulting.
Christ! That is disgusting. No wonder you covered that up. Have you seen it? I mean, have you looked in the mirror? That is gross as hell.
Then that's his typical patter. But here notice how his voice changes and he kind of drops the shtick when he's what I think has that realization. Here's part 2.
Holy hell, kid. Look, it's easy to forget that you're just a kid. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings or anything. I was just screwing around. Forget it.
sounds like he's a different person, right?
Well, no, I think it's all part of him fucking with Carl. I honestly do. I mean, hey, you may be right. He may actually have a moment of true remorse, just like he had a moment seemingly of true remorse before, after he fat shamed Olivia and then was like, oh God, I'm really sorry. That was disrespectful. To make it up to you, let's fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, and then after he said that to Carl, he was a dick about it and was like, no, you can't cover it up. And you know what? Let me touch it. Yeah. While he was swinging the bat around.
But yeah.
I mean, it just,
see,
he just, just when you think, okay, maybe he does have some humanity, and then he erases it by saying what he says.
I know. And I mean, I think it all fits in with his psychosis. With Olivia, I actually think that first off, he's like, really, doesn't anyone have a sense of humor? He was surprised that they didn't think one of his insults was funny. I forget which one. He seemed genuinely surprised. Like, he thinks he's hilarious. And sometimes he is, and that it's confusing, but that's his whole thing. And with Carl, after he tried to explain to him, oh, this is all about busting balls. Didn't your dad teach you that? And then later when he said something else about his mom, about him being a serial killer, no wonder you seem like he's all, that's me busting your balls again, just so you know. So I think in Negan's crazy world, he's like, I want to be pals with you, and this is my way of palling around with you.
I don't think so. I think it's a way of fucking with him.
Yeah, and I mean that's in there too, for sure.
Who knows? So for me, I can't stand Negan, and it's not because he's mean. I think somebody wrote, Karen doesn't like Negan because he's mean, and that's not it. I like mean just fine. I don't like him because it seems like he's a one-note cartoon character. He is, at times, it's blah blah blah. He loves to hear his own voice, and the writers just give him so much to say. He's kind of boring, and with all the extra time this season, they could have given him a little more depth, some background, some humanity of some kind, so we're not just guessing, does he mean all the crap he's saying? We could actually know a little bit more, but we really don't. All we have is this clown walking around doing the same shtick again and again, and it's weird, and they throw in all these rapey things, and he's such a misogynist, and he's got this weird child molester vibe too. I just don't like it. He's also, when he's trying to impress Carl, he says, you see that? They respect me. And also, he's too much of a nitwit to understand the difference between people fearing him and people respecting him. Here's a news flash for you. They fear you. They don't respect you. I mean, he walks around with this red cravat sometimes. I mean, it's so... Oh, it's just so awful. I just hate him. I really do.
I really feel like you might be, I mean, I understand hating him a lot because he's such an asshole, and in the biggest way, he's like got his thumb down on someone's head and pushing it in and laughing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just a fucked up thing to do. And he loves it. And I don't know. My whole point of this number 4 here is that I completely disagree that he's a one-note character. I think he's really complicated, and he in this episode, he looks like he wants to dominate, but he also wants Carl's approval. He's trying to impress him, and I think he wants to sort of appropriate his enemy's son. But I think he really is kind of crazy. And there was one scene where he was like, you must think I'm a lunatic, don't you? And he is kind of a lunatic because he buys into it that people are, that he is better for everyone, that his rules are better and all that. And then they start to, out of fear, buy into it too, somewhat, like that guy who he calls Fat Joseph. And he's talking about his bat and saying, did you pet her pussy? And then Joseph looks really nervous, and he goes, I'm just screwing around, man. A baseball bat doesn't have a pussy. Then he kind of looks relieved and laughs. Oh, thank God. And then Negan's like, get the hell out, which I thought was kind of funny. So he's doing things to keep people off balance, but he's also, it's not just like calculated, you know, it's his own emotions are playing into it, I think. I don't know if you understand.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree.
I think so.
They could flesh out Negan if they wanted to. They could give us more to him, and they don't.
Mean, if you want to make him likable, I think that's a bad idea.
No, I don't want to make him likable. I want to make him understandable. I want to make him a dimensional character. With King Ezekiel, for example, we only saw him for one episode, one stupid episode, and yet we understand his backstory. We understand why this guy calls himself the king, what his motivations are.
What do you not understand about Negan?
What the fuck, man? What are you doing? This is not going to work for you. Where do you come from? What is your...
But wait, give me a question and I'll see if I can explain it.
What do you care about? What do you care about?
He cares about everyone respecting him and having control over everybody.
I don't think so. I think he cares about having control over everybody, but I don't think he understands the difference between fearing and respect.
No, but there's a lot of people who don't understand that. Real people.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I would like him to be a little more human and less like
but he's
walking
not.
around and strutting around like a cartoon.
Hey,
everybody, I'm gonna.
We saw that in this episode. I just played you a clip. He dropped the shtick for a second there.
I don't think he dropped it. I think he tried to disarm Carl so it would hurt even more when he stuck it to him again, and he did. I think what he does is he says, "Oh yeah, no, I'm a human. I understand," and then bashes you metaphorically over the head again with his shtick. So I think it's all a ruse, man. It's all a costume that he's wearing.
Here's
there's nothing
Jeff,
real about
this.
him.
This was going to be in the news, but. And I actually formulated my thoughts on this episode before I read this because I do the news after. But this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan in an interview. They say, we watched Negan alternate between sort of terrorizing this kid with taking the bandage off and the singing and then apologizing to him after if he says something that makes him upset. I wonder if that apology is genuine or he says, I think it's genuine. You do? Yeah, Negan prods him because that's kind of what Negan's MO is. He's going to poke you until he gets the answers that he wants. And when he sees Carl break a little bit, I think Negan genuinely feels bad when he's talking about his mom and how she died in that. I think Negan genuinely has sympathy for this kid and kind of wants to just put him under his wing. And as that episode goes on, you know how weird it gets. I mean, there's some weird stuff. But I think that Negan is being as genuine as Negan can be. I don't think it's a put on. And I think that moment, especially when Carl is talking about his mother and losing her, I really do think that was a genuine moment.
Well, okay, but that didn't come across in the episode to me.
Okay. It did to me. But
okay.
We have different views.
We do.
He was trying to make it look like that, and I got it.
And, I mean, the writing and this character is just not working for me, and I may be the wrong audience for it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of people who are feeling the same way as you.
There's a lot of fans.
The ratings are suffering, and you know, a lot of articles say the same thing. Negan's ruining the show, so you're not alone.
Well, he's going to be on the show for a lot longer.
Yeah, that's true. It'll change, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little worried that this could be the beginning of the end.
Well, that was my number 3, Negan.
All right. Well, let's take a little break and talk about our first sponsor. And that is, before I tell you who it is, I just want to know, is anyone out there kind of freaking out about figuring out what to get people for Christmas or whatever holiday? It's hard to figure out these days because Karen's raising her hand again, because people kind of get what they want these days. And
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's so easy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, what do you get people? Well, here's a winner of a thing. It's our sponsor, a longtime sponsor, Fracture, and they make photos printed on glass. You send them your photo, they print it on glass, and it becomes this beautiful object. I mean, all of them are great just because of the way they're nice to hold in your hand. They look great. But then with your picture in there, of course, it's personal, and it's just a lasting way to kind of memorialize one of your photos. And this is for special photos. You don't just put any photo in here. It's a little work of art. And so if there's somebody that you want to impress, or, that you're close to, that you have a picture of you and them, or, that you think they would like to have, your kids or something like that, a family member, they're gonna light up when they see this as a gift.
Sure.
Where'd you get this? How did you think of this? This is great. I totally did not expect this. It's something really cool to get someone. So we've gotten a lot of thank you emails from listeners who've bought these more than any other thing that we advertise, and we've gotten notes from listeners who bought them for themselves mostly, but also as gifts. So I highly recommend this. Time is actually running out. It takes them a little while to make these. And if you go on their website, you can see when your order will ship, and then you have to add the shipping time. So I think you have to start ordering those pretty soon in order to get them in time for the holidays. But go check it out. If you go to fractureme.com/podcast, and then you select the Walking Dead cast, you get 10% off your first order. Then if you do get it, write to us and let us know how it went, how the person liked it. We love to hear that, right?
Yeah,
I always
absolutely.
like it.
Oh, yeah.
And to see which ones you got and everything. So again, that's fractureme.com/podcast. Thanks, Fracture. Okay, you did your number 3, so it's my turn, right?
Yep.
So mine is, we've talked about this a little bit, the miserableness of this storyline.
Yeah.
Because even I think it's a miserable storyline. I mean, some people, you think he's a one-note character, or maybe some people don't even like how Jeffrey Dean Morgan's playing it, or they think that the storyline is too repetitive, all this kind of stuff. And I think some of those, criticisms are arguably valid. But the other couple of reasons are that it's just oppressive to see our heroes suffering for so long, and they just find Negan offensive. And to me, I don't mind that at all. I think, for one thing, that this is a show about the zombie apocalypse, and right now we're at the time in The Walking Dead when this asshole bully oppressor is dictating everything, and I think that's a great post-apocalyptic story. In fact, I don't know what other setting you could really have a story like this where someone comes in and takes over like this. This is a good opportunity to have a story like this, and this is maybe like an Afghani warlord or something. I don't know, some other places in the world, but I think it is kind of depressing. But there's a lot of other depressing things in this show since it started, and for me, I always, even as a kid, as a teenager, I thought I want to experience all of life's different emotions, not just only gravitate towards everything happy and nice. If I am sad about something or anxious, I'll even take a second to appreciate that, until my girlfriend, I won't say her name, but my first girlfriend broke up with me, and I was like sobbing in my room going, okay, that's enough. I don't appreciate this anymore. I'm like, fuck that. But I don't feel like that with Walking Dead. It's not that big a deal. But I also think some people, I mean, they do feel personally affected by this because there's been people like this in their life. In fact, I've talked about it on the podcast before. I had a stepdad who was a little bit like Negan. Mm-hmm. He made me pick up that hot rock, and I got blisters on my hand, Yep. And he was just a monster, and he was crazy, and you never knew what he was going to do. And the Negan kind of reminds me of him a little bit. He even had that kind of a swagger about him where he was getting off on whatever he was doing. Yeah. And so I get a little apprehensive about that, but it's on TV, and I actually I'm like, okay, cool. We're going into this really dark place. I like dark shit sometimes. So for me, at least that aspect of it, how horrible it is, I am digging. And, like I've said before, I can't wait to see him get what's coming to him, because I know it's coming. If the rest of the series was, okay, this is now the Negan show, and we're just going to have Negan dominating until another 4 years, then no, I wouldn't want that. But
although, another alternative, I don't know what's coming in the comic. I do
ahead
know what
in the story.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming ahead in the story. One alternative is he doesn't get what's coming to him. One alternative is he keeps going. And they leave. I mean, that's always been an option for them. I'm not saying that's the right option for them, but it's always been an option as they can leave. We saw that last week, the Oceanside Resort, is that what they were called? I can't remember. My memory's so bad. They left. They left and hid. Right. Of course, they left. And
didn't go too far.
Very far, but they found a nice little resort at the ocean, and they have fish fries all the time, and it's a nice little community. And sure, they kill everybody, but that's one alternative. Is he might not get what his comeuppance, and some people might actually feel that he's not wrong. He's really good at staying alive. And in this particular universe, that's the end game is being alive. So maybe some people feel, and that's perfectly valid. If there's listeners out there who love Negan, more power to you. And
I don't think so. I think that's crazy talk.
That's not crazy.
I mean, you could have a guy who builds this society and says, all right, we're going to have rules. But we all need to agree on them, and we need to agree what the consequences are. Not, I'm going to iron your face.
Well, they had rules, and they broke the clear-cut rules. Apparently, I'm not trying to be a Negan apologist. Really, I'm not. No. But they did have.
I think
if anyone,
personally, I've heard them say, "All right, we've seen Rick up to this point, but if we had been with Negan, we would understand what he was doing." I don't buy that. Oh. Because he is creating this harem for himself just because he can. No, that's not cool. He doesn't need to do
that. Yeah. True.
Anyone who says, yeah, I totally get that and I would do the same thing, I don't want to hang out with that person.
Well, all I can say is Mussolini did make the trains run on time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I think it is my turn. Number 2, Carl. Chandler Riggs. We've met Chandler Riggs. You've met Chandler Riggs a lot, but I got to meet Chandler Riggs maybe a couple times. And man, he's a sweet kid. He's just a lovely young man in person. And I also find him to be kind of a lovely young man to watch on screen. I just do. I think he's cute. His long, lustrous locks and all. But this episode, I was puzzled by one of his choices. He was supposed to be this, in Negan's eyes, this badass kid, right? Well, he's in the truck. He's got a semi-automatic weapon. I assume that's a semi-automatic weapon. He has a clean shot, and he did not use it. He just stood there, and he didn't kill Negan. And that I actually scared my cat. She was sitting on my lap, and I screamed at the television, "Kill him!" And the cat freaked out and jumped off my lap. And
your neighbors are like,
right, what's going on in that house? They understand by this point. So
must be Monday. It must be Sunday night.
Right, exactly. Karen's screaming, "Kill him!" Must be Sunday. So that was puzzling. I don't understand why you just didn't take the shot, Carl. Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, maybe he froze. He froze up.
Yeah, could be.
But
could be.
Negan was pretty stupid to parade out in front of him, assuming that he would choke.
Yeah.
So that's the part where it feels a little weak to me. I mean, he did pull that dude in front of him, but it wasn't, and he'd just seen Carl kill 2 of his guys, so no reason to think why Carl wouldn't just kill another guy. So I thought that was kind of weak as far as storytelling goes a little bit. I believe that Carl maybe might choke, but I didn't think Negan would just parade himself out there like that.
Carl killed 2 guys with barely blinked, and it didn't seem to faze him at all. Is that where we're at? You can just kill a couple guys and it doesn't even faze you.
And then like father, like son, but he said no one else needs to die. So I think that was supposed to show why he wouldn't just shoot right through that other guy to kill Negan. But come on. I mean, you just
Carl.
killed 2 guys. You're there to kill the man who killed your friends.
Yes, And they asked him on The Talking Dead, did Carl think this was a suicide mission? Because Chandler Riggs was on The Talking Dead. And he said, Chandler totally thought this was a suicide mission. So given that he thought this was a suicide mission, why didn't you fire your gun when you had the chance? Anyway, sorry. It's not like I'm bitter or anything.
No, I mean, I agree with you there. Well, my number 2 is all about Negan and Carl, and I won't say too much because we're having a comic talk section, but the interplay between Carl and Negan in the comics was one of my favorite segments.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting for it, and I thought, I was a little nervous about it on the show, because in the comics, Carl at this point is still like 8 years old or something.
Right. He's really young.
And so I thought it might be a little different, but also I didn't know how Chandler would do, but I thought he was great for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I liked it. I didn't like it as much as in the comics, but I liked it. Now, I'm trying to think, okay, what is Negan's game here? I talked about it a little bit, but he says it's more productive to break you, more fun too. But he also keeps talking about how impressed he is with Carl and do not shatter my image of you. By being afraid and stuff like that. So I really think that he is trying to kind of appropriate him as a son and break him and make him be his, impress him. And he wants Carl to switch over to Negan. And I think, what about Carl? What does he think of Negan? Well, it's pretty clear. He wants to kill him.
Yeah.
And I loved when Negan said, what do I do? Do I kill you, iron your face, chop off your arm? What do you think? Carl says, I think you should jump out the window to save me the trouble of killing you. And then he said, if you knew us, if you knew anything, you would kill us, but you can't. I didn't quite get that. Why would Negan not be able to kill them?
Well, Negan didn't kill Rick, didn't kill Daryl, and didn't kill Carl. And so Carl's right to feel like, dude, why aren't you killing us? You seem to kill everybody all the time.
But he doesn't, though. He breaks everybody. Maybe that's why he can't kill them, because he feels like he hasn't broken them yet.
Well, he explained.
He did break Rick.
He said, I think Daryl's going to be a good soldier.
Right.
I think Rick is going to be a good guy to get me. A good producer, and you're going to be, who knows? You're going to be my little one-eyed buddy. Yeah, it was a little funny though, right? It seemed a little strange that there's Carl taunting Negan, saying, you couldn't kill us, when in fact it was Carl who couldn't kill Negan when it came down to it.
Loser.
Just the opposite.
I still don't get, what's he talking? Why Negan could kill him if he wanted to.
Yeah. And by the way, probably you shouldn't be taunting him. Just saying.
But I did like that Carl just couldn't hold it back anymore, and he was, I'm gonna kill you. Then go ahead.
Can I say one thing, by the way? I think that this Carl thing was a terrible plan. I think, for one thing, when you got to the truck at the crucial moment when you could have killed Negan, you didn't.
Yeah, you just happened, like it was a long shot he was ever going to get that moment, but he did get it.
But he did get it, and then he fucked it up. And then maybe now that Negan's back at your compound, now Negan is back at Alexandria on your front porch holding your baby sister. Yeah, and it's because you did that, pal. So that was a terrible idea. Oh
yeah, Carl blew it.
He kind of did.
The scene with Negan and Carl and the eye was a little sadder in the comic because he was a little kid, and I guess it's a bigger deal for a teenage Carl to cry, but I also didn't quite believe, with what we've seen with TV Carl, that he would have cried at that point.
Yeah,
because he does seem like a little serial killer, but.
Yeah. Also, I kept thinking, I wonder if he still has a tear duct on that side. Is that bad of me?
That sounds like something Negan would ask.
Can he cry on that side?
Okay, your turn. Number 1.
All right. So I'm going to talk about some decisions that might not have been great decisions. One decision I just mentioned was Carl's poor decision to go to the sanctuary, because now Negan is back holding his baby sister. I'm also thinking that the Spencer storyline this time, there are a lot of really funny, weird decisions. I'm not sure that, and also some entries into the Department of the Suspension of Disbelief. For instance, the guy hanging in the tree was a Latin scholar. The guy who found the note was also a Latin scholar.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like suspension of disbelief.
And
okay.
also that they've been starving, and he just now happens to find a note where there's a cache of supplies everywhere.
Yes,
oh,
exactly. That's all coded in Latin, and he studied Latin, and his mom told him it would pay off.
In the same episode that Rick and Aaron find a houseboat full of food.
Right, exactly. By the way, I took a year of Latin. It is really hard. You would have to take it for many, many years to be able to.
Spencer looks like a smart dude.
Does he? I think he looks like he's dumb as a sack of hammers, but but who am I?
He looks like a kid that went to college to me.
Yeah, he probably did. He's one of those sack of hammers kids that the congressional leader's son that gets in because he's related to Congresswoman.
Legacy.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Although, he did kind of have a point about Rick being a questionable leader.
Yep.
And said, maybe we shouldn't have attacked the outpost. And Father Gabriel is like, how dare you question attacking the outpost? And I was thinking, no, actually, that was probably a great idea. I'm only going to rant about a couple more. And that is Michonne being taken to Negan. I hope Negan's not there right now, but being taken anywhere near the sanctuary is really dangerous on your own. So she only has like a revolver and a katana. And I do hope that before they get to the sanctuary that she, it's good for her to know where Negan's at, but I think it's really dangerous to be taken into the sanctuary.
You're right. I was going to say they're desperate, but what they should do is feel around and see who's up for a rebellion and get a group together, not just go off on your own.
Right, exactly.
But they're
maybe
half cocked, all of them. Carl, Rosita, and Michonne.
Right, exactly. The one person right now who's making good decisions, I think, is Jesus, which is hopping off before you get into the compound, hiding,
scoping the place out.
Yes.
Figuring. I think this is the first time they know where it is, which was the point of him going there, just to find where it was. Yeah.
Correct. And that's my number one.
Good. Okay. My number one is we kind of learned a little bit more about how Negan operates and how the sanctuary operates. Everyone must live by strict rules, and the crowd's chanting, "Rules keep us alive," which that's another thing. I think half of that is bullshit, but half of it Negan actually believes. He's crazy.
Yeah.
And we survive. We bring security to others. Well, it's like the mob kind of security. We won't kill you if you pay us, and maybe we'll kill a zombie or two outside.
Right.
We bring civilization back to each other. Even Daryl, he's kneeling down. It was kind of sad to see. He kneeled down as soon as Negan came in. Meanwhile,
Negan said he wouldn't kneel, but